Hi photo students, this is a demo on creating web galleries for your pages, your assignment portfolios in WordPress. Now, I'm in a demo website for WordPress that I've made for the course, and I'm in the back end, so I'm at my dashboard. I've logged in, I'm at the back end of my site, and I'm gonna drop down where it says sites here and select pages. I'm going to add a new page so you guys can see. Now, there are options for creating previously generated templates here, but I'm going to keep it simple and start with a blank one and use that blank template. This is a generic title, but I'd like you to title these pages based on the assignments. But if you were working on projects and portfolios, you would give it a specific title to explain what people were going to see on the page. So this is a demo web gallery. And when you're here in WordPress, you can see that there are these block editing options. This is the default for now in WordPress. Stick with what is the default, and you have a couple ways of getting to add a web gallery. There's this plus symbol here, which is also redundant with this plus symbol here. So these have the same. This is just a quick way to get to it. So if I select this, you can see it gives me what are called blocks, and this one is the header for all the different text stylings you can create, so a paragraph, quote, etc. This one is called media, and this is where we want to be. Later we're going to be working with way down here with custom, and we're going to be looking for HTML, which is kind of buried here. So if I did a search, I could do HTML and it would give me custom HTML. We're going to work on some of that later, so keep that in mind. But if I also did gallery, up here it would search for gallery, and it has some template galleries and examples of them, and then you can see it's as I toggle through here and hover over something to the right, it's giving me a preview of what that would look like. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add a simple gallery right now. This is a block that gives you some editing options up here, uploading and selecting images. Now, uploading, all you have to do is you can actually just drag images from your desktop to here if you want. You can also select upload and find images on your computer. Or I already have images in what's called my media library, which is stored on the WordPress site itself. Okay, I'm going to use their generic. These were free images that came with the template that I chose. And notice what's happening here. I started here and it selected 1 and went 2, 3, 4. If I deselect it or select this again, it deselects that and jumps my 3 to what was 4. Okay, and I can come back here and it switches that to the end to 8. So it's a way of organizing this, because when I enter these into my gallery, I have the option here to organize their position in the gallery, but I can also do it again later. All right. So if I select insert, it creates a gallery. Here you can select an image and write a caption. You can edit or replace this image. You can delete this image. You can also move it by selecting these arrows and moving these throughout the gallery. Okay. Over to the right here, you have some options. Right now we have 3 columns, right? And then because I chose an even number, it's not giving me 3 at the bottom. So if I wanted them to be even, I could do 4 columns, or I could come back and do 2 columns. See that? Okay. I can also have it crop images or not. Notice this image wasn't the exact same size as all the rest, but what it's doing, this one is horizontal, it's giving you a preview of them cropped. So when you select them on the page when it's published, it'll enlarge and give you the proper crop for that image. Now you also have the option of changing the size of the images in this gallery. So if I want them to be thumbnails, for example, or medium size, let me see what thumbnail does. If I went to up here to preview and I previewed this gallery, it's gonna show me, actually it doesn't want to seem to give me a preview of it in thumbnails. Maybe it doesn't allow it with that many. So if I did 4 columns, I wonder if I could go medium. Yeah, maybe this particular gallery doesn't give me that option. So if I switch to, say, a tiled gallery like this, I wonder, nope, it doesn't give me it there either. Well, this would be tiled squares, and if I preview, I wonder why it's not giving me that. I wonder if I need to upload images again. As you can see, it's not the most, it's a little bit glitchy, but I think if I went to square tiles here and preview, there you go. I wonder if there it goes. It's just taking a second to load them. Okay, so if I went back here and I selected this, there we go, it created those squares. Now if I go to publish this, and I view this page, this is the front end. So this is fineart.photodemo.wordpress.com. This is the part, or this is the page that is public. Okay, so if I select these, they get larger. Notice that they're not square, they're just cropped for that gallery preview. So when we come here, this is horizontal again. Okay, but you're seeing that it's cropped as a square in the gallery itself. All right, so if I want to go back to my site, I'm in the back end again. Notice that this is not the public URL. This is in edit mode where I can edit these. I can say, you know what, I don't really want this image. You can see that it styles it. You can change, so rounded corners is kind of neat. I'm just giving you a sense of paying attention to some of these other options over to the right. And notice here I can also change this entirely. So I can go, maybe I want to do a slideshow. Okay, this would be a slideshow. Now, why would you pick one or the other? Some of it is just preference, but some of it might be, for instance, this one, slideshow, maybe you don't want people to have to scroll down. Maybe you have a series of images that's 30 images long, and you don't want them to have to scroll on their page. You want them to land on your portfolio page and just be able to see all the images without moving up and down. Right? They just can scroll left to right. That's just one way of thinking about it. Okay, now you have some effects here where it fades. You have full size, you have thumbnail, medium, right? Some other ways you can have it autoplay. Now, make sure that you preview. You can publish these pages as a preview as well if you don't mind bouncing back and forth, but you do have the ability to see those. Common things that I notice that students get wrong or struggle with on this is being willing to just go through and push buttons. Okay, making sure that they're paying attention to when I select, say, gallery here, what are my extended options over here under that block, and what are my page options, right? So for instance, I'm in this gallery and I also want to select what's called a feature image, and I want this to be my featured image. So if I insert that and update, and I view this page, Notice that one, this highlight, is a highlighted image at the top, and then the gallery is below. All right, it's kind of nice that way. Now, play around. Play around with different ways of styling your website and your web galleries. You can always come in and change them and mess around. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.